Hi, this is Tanya. I'm just sorry I had a problem I tried to do before and I had a problem with my mic. So it's proven quite difficult, these lives. I'm going to make sure that people can hear me before I actually carry on. So there's somebody there, there's somebody liking it. So if people are there, could you please just tell me that you are and that you can hear me right and everything like that rather than me just rambling? So there's people in the room. Can you make yourself known, please? It's like a seance. So you're hearing me. Yay! Hi, everybody. Hi, happy Sunday to you all. I don't normally work on a Sunday, but I just felt, oh, that's great. Great. I'm pleased everybody can hear you. Yeah, because I've changed the format, I've been filming the May monthlies, so they will be up there, all done. They just need to upload, so they will be up hopefully within the next 24 hours, okay? But because I'm doing them now where I'm doing with the elements, so I'm not doing as many, I'm thinking it feels like I'm not giving you enough. So what I'm going to try, so this is just a little trial. Okay, I'm going to go back to doing weeklies, but this is like when I very first started, where I would pull different cards from different decks and then do the weekly energies. Well, I used to do them for the dailies, but now it's going to be about the weeklies. So, my screen's just gone all over there. So I hope that makes sense to all of you. And it just gives me a chance. It's a Sunday. It's not a work day, so I kind of drop in and say hi and hang out with you all for a little bit as well. So that'd be cool. So that's everybody saying hi. Hi from New York. Hello from Tennessee. Yay, there she is. It's like Christmas Day today with you. Yeah, thank you. What was it I seen the other day? Oh, I was out with a friend and they were buying a poncho and I was like, no, that's far too Christmas. It was all reds and greens. Tennessee, thank you for what you do. Very grateful. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. And thank you for all of you. I'm very grateful for you to come on as well. Hey, Magic, Spirit 1974. Hi from the UK and from Nebraska. Wow, we've got all over. This is a lovely little global community, isn't it? And I love it. South Florida. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, are you a psychic? Yes, I am. We're all psychic, though. I believe that we all are. It's just a muscle that we need to develop. I can hear red and green, grounding in love. Yeah, but it did look very, like in the sun, it did look very Santa Clausy. So, yeah, so how's everybody's weekend been? How's everybody's weekend? How did you practice tarot? Right, okay. I feel if anybody's wanting to learn tarot, one of the best things to do is get a deck. That's usually a good place to start. And get to know it first. I mean, I was under the impression and I was told when I first started that we need to do 1,000 readings before we start to charge for it. And I did that, I read for a lot of years before I even started to charge because it was, I wanted to make sure that the information I was giving out was correct. So what I would do was I would take a tarot card a day, feel it as well, before I actually pulled the card. It was like, right, okay, what is this card going to say to me today? So before I actually even pull the card, I would do that. Then I wouldn't look at the card. I would just hold the card, see what I was feeling with it beforehand, and then obviously look at it, see what messages I was getting from it, and then write them down. Then end of the day, go back and see how that played out in your day, and then check the book meaning to see if there's anything you missed. Because I think when we learn from a book, books are great. And obviously now we have a lot of different artists doing their interpretation of the tarot, which I absolutely love. Shamanic Chronicles has actually just done one and she's sending me a deck, so I'm really excited to work with that, and I will be doing readings on it and putting the details of where you get it as well. So it when we read from a book, it's somebody else's interpretation of what that card is. The traditional tarot, it's a guideline. But, if you think from when tarot was first developed, how we have developed as a nation, as internationally, as a planet, there's going to be a lot more depth in it, and I believe that to be an intuitive tarot reader that is where the messages are greater. I'm not saying that anybody that reads by the book is bad, but it's almost like, sticking to the rules and sticking to the book can rob us of experiences or knowledge that the tarot can actually give us as well. You're feeling a lot of emotions right now, and boom, Tanya comes on today. I must be psychic. I do find that I've connected with one of my decks. Is it okay to practice on myself? Yes and no, I would say. I don't feel there's any right and wrong. Okay, what I would say, and like I say, I've done this for years, but I still struggle reading for myself. My ego gets in all of the time, and I doubt. Okay, or I'm like, does that mean that? Does that mean them? Does that, I doubt it. When I read for other people, it's boom, right? Okay, I'm connected. This is the information given out. My ego doesn't get a look in. When my ego gets a look in, that's when I start to doubt, So it's almost like a clear channel I make myself to read for other people. With myself, I find it hard. So I like to go to other readers or something. But that doesn't mean that I didn't practice with myself on a morning when I first started reading. But what I would do, it would almost like I would pull the card, and then after when I've said sorry on the night time, look back and see how that card could have been interpreted in my day. So I would pull the card, not expecting anything from it, but then go back and recap and see how that it came into my day, which is really good, because sometimes you can have a certain thing happen with one card all of the time, and then that, when you see that card come up, it's like, all right, okay, somebody's going to trip over, and that means you're going to get a message from something, so you can actually start to link cards to what is happening for yourself. Does that make sense? I know my emotions last few days have been killing me, hermit, and emotions all over. Yeah, but that's a good place to be, the hermit. It makes us go internal, which, funny enough, the cards today are talking about. So that might answer some questions. Yeah, connect with your deck. Sleep with them under your pillow as well. And what I find is all the decks have different voices. They all speak a different language. So I have a deck that will give it to you blunt. That's it. They don't sugarcoat. I have other ones that are quite nice and will offer another explanation or another sort of way to look at things. I have quite funny, and they're quite humorous, almost like friends. You think of confidence within your life. Some of us have parents, siblings, children, friends, bosses, co-workers, whatever. And if you think how all of them could give us different advice on a single situation, that's what all the tarot decks are like. So that's why I want to eventually want all of the tarot decks, every single one. I want a room that I can't even get in for tarot. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's really good, Norma. Try it and let me know, okay? Because this is it. We could maybe develop some sort of little group where we share something like that. That would be cool. Right. Okay. So thank you for that. You see, you never know what's going to come up. And, there you go. A little bit of teaching there as well. And you never stop learning, neither, with the tarot. That's one thing I can say. It continues to blow my mind every single time I use it. And I never stop learning. So it's always have an open mind with the tarot and try to interpret it. Sometimes it's literal. Sometimes use different decks together to get it deeper. I was reading for my housemate the other day, and because I know him well, I didn't want my influence to go in the cards. So I used 3 different decks. And they all said exactly the same thing, but in a different way. So yeah, that's it. Have fun with them. Don't be scared of the tarot. Okay, this is the thing. Dive right into it. Because, if we keep it at arm's length, we're kind of like, there is nothing to be scared of with the tarot. Okay, you cannot make any mistakes. If you get something, it's important. It might make no sense to you. And when you're reading for somebody as well, I do readings, hour-long readings for people, and all I say within it, I don't tend to ask questions, and I just say, does this make sense to you? Does this make sense to you? And they're going, yes, yes, yes. And I come away from the reading and I think, I haven't got a clue what that reading was about. I don't know, but whatever information they're giving me is relevant to the person. At one time, I used to try and figure it out myself. That's it. That's my ego, because I would miss valuable information. So I would give it exactly. It's like, give it as you get it. That's, I think, the biggest tagline I can say for tarot as well. Oh, there's 33 of us in the chat. Oh, amazing. Just going to have a drink, right? Do any of you drink matcha? Because I've decided to go all healthy, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to drink it. And the taste is okay, but God, the smell, I really, really don't like the smell of it. The smell of it's not good at all. Yeah. Do you find the smells bad as well, Spirit 1974? Yeah, it's like, it's foul. I like the taste, but it's the smell. I'm almost like holding my nose before I drink it. How should you channel your energy and crystals with cards? Right, okay. People say they should be wrapped in a purple blanket, a purple cloth, kept in a box, crystals on them, whatever. I sometimes put crystals on. I do whatever I feel, okay? A lot of the times my tarot are carried around with me. I have decks that are literally battered and bruised and all of that, and to me, intent is the most important thing. I never disrespect my tarot. I never allow anybody else to disrespect my tarot. If people come to my house, only the people I truly respect and know respect my tarot can pick them up. I don't allow people to drink alcohol around my tarot, and I don't read for people if I'm drinking alcohol or if they are, because to me that, I never mix spirit and spirit. That is, that's a good one. Only because the vibrations are lower, and I open myself up fully when I do a reading, and I've got to be careful for myself, and I've got to be careful for my cards, because they hold energy as well. So all I would say is just make sure, if something feels right and you don't feel you want to read for a particular person, give yourself permission to say no. I usually, it doesn't happen a lot now, but sometimes I can get it, because all my readings are done via a booking system. So I can get a booking through, and instantly I feel there's something wrong with that. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the person. That is an energy where I don't want to read, or I can't read, and you will guarantee, if I don't nip it in the bud straight away, something will happen where I end up not doing that reading. So please trust yourself, trust yourself 100% when you're with the tarot, okay? And don't think, oh, people will say no, or people won't like it if I say no, just energetically, I'm not feeling this today, okay? And that will protect yourself, okay? And people will respect you for respecting yourself and having boundaries as well. You've just bought new tarot cards. Well, welcome. You've opened up a whole can of worms here, and it's amazing. Congratulations. My tarot got me through a divorce. Exactly. Tarot will get you. I want to live in a world where everybody has tarot. I was saying to somebody the other day, I want tarot to be as important as lipstick. So you've always got your lipstick in your bag, and your tarot go with you as well, because people think tarot is prediction. Now, Colette Baron Reid, with her cards, she says that they're prescription, okay? And this is what I feel they are. Tarot are like a sat nav. They will mirror back to you what is going on. They will help you see things from a different angle, okay? And they will guide you, okay? But you are the one that has to take the message on board with them. I mean, how many times, everybody who has tarot will have done it, myself included. You ask a question, you shuffle the tarot, you pull one out, and then you pull another one out, and you pull another one, and you go, I don't like that answer, and you do it again, and that's it. We really need to take so much notice of what the tarot is telling us, even if it isn't what we want to hear. And this is why, hey, Paula, I was just talking about you yesterday, Paula, to Shelley Deacon. I think she's going to contact you regarding something about the boys. Okay, I was just talking to you. Hey, Paula. I love Paula. I actually done a reading for Paula, and told her she was going to get married and everything like that. And she was like, yeah, whatever. And she did, and then asked me to photograph her wedding. So it was a massive honor, and I done the photographs of the wedding as well. So yay, Paula. So where was I? I've completely lost track there. This is good because I can do this on a Sunday. I'm allowed. So yes, so the tarot, take notice of what it's trying to tell you, because it's always, if it's giving you a warning, it will play out in some way or another. Okay, so don't dismiss it just because you don't like it. When I read for people, they always come with questions, and I always say to them, can I read for you? And then we'll ask your questions, because the tarot will tell you what you need to know, not what you want. And there is a huge difference. We can miss some massively important information by just asking the questions that we want. And also within tarot, it's about asking the right questions as well, because this is the thing, really wording your question right so that you get the right answer, because the more detail and the clearer you are with your question, the clearer and more detail you will get with your answer as well. Right, Jody. Sorry, I'm not pulling personal cards today. I'm pulling weekly energies for the week. Okay, so sorry about that. I've had a freakiest feeling ever that something big is coming. Well, snap, join the club, Jody, because this is the feeling that's going on energetically. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. How's your headaches? Yeah, my headaches are good. I had a little episode yesterday. I went a little bit blind, and I have a it's really strange, and I'm not going to say what I call it here because it's politically incorrect. But I had an episode yesterday, and what happens is my arm just goes absolutely crazy, and I can't help it at all. And then I kind of had a little thing where I went blind for a little bit, but that's normal. It's not normal, but it's normal for for what I have. And then the pain starts after that. So last night wasn't too good. Last week I had a really, really bad episode, which is probably about the worst in about a year and a half, but it's fine. No, it's not migraine. I have a tumor in my brain, but it's fine. It's a part of me. It's nothing, it's nothing. Occasionally it plays up. When it plays up, I just have to listen to my body and rest. So my pineal gland, actually, it's a crystal in there. Who said that? It's a crystal in there, because that is so strange, because that is what Spirit told me the other day. Spirit actually said to me, it's not a tumor, it is a crystal that you have there so that you can have crystal clear clarity and crystal clear vision for your animal's health. Wow, that's interesting that you're saying that. You've just stumped me there. This is it. I am, I get healing for it. I use Gaia's medicine as well. I use cannabis oil when it's really bad for the inflammation as well. And I don't take any prescription medications for it, because the ones that they were going to give me would actually make me more ill. So I've been top of my 3 6 develop my gift. This is for another day. Thank you. I wished I could answer that, but I would say just persevering, just trust and surrender as well. Okay, so just surrender and surrender and surrender. And when you think you've surrendered, and you surrender some more, because Spirit will work in their time. We can't push it. Sometimes when we first, start to develop, it's like, great. Find a good development group. Find a good development group. That is crucial and essential, I feel, within any psychic development, even if it is online. I've had many wonderful teachers within my life that have been. I don't know what I would have done without them. And be prepared for setbacks as well, because the more we learn, then the second we think we know it, we go backwards. I always say it. Spirit once showed me that spirituality, or developing our psychic gifts, or raising vibration, or whatever, is a bit like a game of snakes and ladders. So we're going up this ladder and we're like, wait, look at me, look at what I can do now. And the second we do that, it's bang, straight down that snake again. Stay humble at all times with it. That is the biggest key I can say to developing psychically. Stay humble all the time. So, right. Uh, hey, Abigail. Yeah, full moons make emotions go all over the place. They do. We're connected to the moon, but rather than get scared of it, people get scared of it. But when we have a full moon, it's trying to illuminate something. It's shining light in the darkness and in a dark area with ourselves. So whatever we're feeling, whatever we're feeling, know that it's here to teach us. It's not like, oh, why is this happening to me? It's like, what gift has this for me? What lesson has this for me? So this is how, and that gets hard. It gets hard, but there's always a lesson in everything that goes what we say is wrong, or everything that challenges us or tests us is an opportunity for us to grow. All right. Okay. So I'm going to get on with the cards. I forgot all about that. I thought we were just hanging out on a Sunday afternoon. I would love to say that, oh, I'll do this every Sunday, but no, I can't do that. Yeah, I'm all settled. I still need some things. I need rugs. Everything is so hard to buy on this island. There's not many shops. So you've got to buy everything secondhand, which is quite cool because you don't have an idea in your head. You just kind of go, oh, right, okay, there's a chest of drawers. I'll get them one. There's a sofa. So that's quite funny. Are you still by the ocean? Yes, I was at the ocean yesterday. Yeah, I was at the ocean yesterday. Vitamin C, that's what it is. Yeah, it's nice. And thank you for that, for your animal's health. That really, I would like to talk to you about that because that was very interesting. I don't know if you're on my Instagram or Facebook, but I can be contacted by that. How I live my life anyway. So blessed and all worth it. Yeah, we're all very, very blessed. We really, really are. And it's hard. I said this to my housemate the other day. We were sitting and we were like, God, it's too hot, and oh, we've got to walk outside to go to the kitchen because our kitchen's outside. And I'm like, yeah, but look at it, just take a second to bring yourself back and see what you've got. And I feel it is a very beautiful attachment to the earth. Right, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because yeah, it's bizarre. It puzzles me a bit. It puzzles me, but like I say, I don't worry about it. God, the smell of that. Right, okay, so I'm going to get on. I've already pulled the cards here of what I'm getting, and they're quite interesting because, yes, I would trade places. I know that, and many people would, and like I say, there isn't a day goes by that I don't, have massive gratitude in where I am, but it took a long time to get here as well. I wrote a thing on my Instagram a few weeks ago, and I was sitting and I'd said, wow, I'm so lucky to be here. And Spirit said, no, luck has nothing to do with it. Look at what you've endured to actually be in this place in your life now, and that's it. They said that by me placing it all on luck was actually quite insulting to the work that I've put in to get here as well. And this isn't, work, financial work. This is physical work and things and risks that I've taken to do this, so yeah, it's massively, massively grateful. But it was also a decision as well, because it was like, this is how I want to live my life, and how do I actually do that? So yeah, it was funny yesterday. Anybody on my Instagram, and it came out in one of the readings today. There was, sorry, this is my head when I get my words muddled up like that. And they said to me, decide aside. And I was like, what? And they said it was the opposite to suicide, and it was when you decide to live, a conscious like thing to say, this is how I'm going to live. I'm going to live my life. And funny enough, this is oh, thank you, Tina. I'm not doing personal readings on here today. So yes. I went to the lake last week and stood by the water. Yeah, water is, God, massively. We need it. We need it. We are water. If you think, if we dehydrate, what happens? It's not good. We need water, and that's even just being in the energy of water as well. It's very inspiring watching your journey. Thank you. And this is why I've wanted to share it with you, and like I say, those that are on my Instagram, you realize when I have a wobble, I write it as well, because I don't, we're all human. And, I think sometimes when we realize that other people, wobbles are normal, we never get over the fact that we're not going to wobble. I was talking about this the other day, and it was, fear. I still get scared of things, but I know now that fear is a liar, and I know I've got to push through that with things. So, oh, thank you. You're on Instagram as well. Health coach, and I use my life. Okay, drop me a DM, and then I'll know exactly who you are, and I can reply to you as well. My truck has been limping and needs fixed before I make the trip. Funny you should say that about trucks, right? I bought a car. So it is a car that I wanted when I was 11-year-old. I didn't think about it fully, I don't think. And now I have the car, and she's beautiful. She's a little bit of a madam. She's 35 years old, so she's a grandma. And I'm finding it hard to bond with her. And I'm like, oh God, have I made a mistake? What do I do now? I've just paid and had all the paperwork done. And yeah, I'm struggling a little bit with that. I don't know. So it's a strange one. I don't know what there's something within the car and how I'm feeling that it's trying to teach me, but I need to know what it is first. Okay, but yeah, she's got a name. She's called Sunny. And it was Haley. I don't know if Haley's still here. Haley sent me that. There was a story connected to it, and she's like sunshine. I don't know. I've got a little light there. I don't know if that'll make I'll see if I can get a photograph of her. Oh, somebody's flights came up on there. I don't know what that flight is. Where is a little photograph of Sunny Blue, she's called. There you go. Can you see that? That's my little car. No, Carrie, my daughter calls me Carrie because whenever I get stressed, I blow electrics up as well. So my daughter calls me Carrie. I'm Carrie. Give her time. This is it. I'm trying to be gentle with her. So, right. But she's fun. She makes people smile, and she makes me smile. So I feel I'm going to keep her. Hey, David, how you doing? Lots of character. Yeah, your daughter's named Carrie as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to go in now. I'm going to start the reading now, even though I could sit and chat forever. You used to have one, Magic, yeah? Did you find it's the gear stick, isn't it? The gear stick. I've made friends with second, third, and fourth, but reverse and first don't want to be my friend. And I'm not the best parker anyway, so I've got to park right out the way if I use it. So yeah. This is my first time on a YouTube live thing. It's exciting. Wow, David. Do you not do them? David is an absolutely fantastic, wonderful psychic. I was talking before about not being able to trust myself for readings, David has read for me on many an occasion and really gives me a lot of clarity. And I like to call him a dear friend as well. I would hope he would do the same with me. But yeah, I love David. We've always, both Virgos, we tend to, I don't know, we're like the naughty kids that you shouldn't put together, I think. Yeah, what is it? Intuitive Icons on Facebook as well. If you're on Facebook, David has a great page there called Intuitive Icons and posts some fabulous work. I love you too. Yay! Yeah, there's always Virgos. I've noticed that there's a lot of readers of Virgos. There's a lot of readers of Virgos, and a lot of I get more views on my Virgos as well, my Virgos reading. Right, okay, so I'm going to go with what the energies are for this week. And this is kind of a bit different to the energy that I'm feeling now. There's a lovely energy in this room, but the first card I've pulled is the Five of Cups here. Okay, and this is from a fabulous, beautiful deck called the Fountain Tarot, and I use this one for myself. This is it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And if we look at that card, that guy is not in a good place. He's looking back to the past. It's almost like he's bleak. It's bleak what he is looking at here. And this card, when I'm looking at it, I'm kind of getting grief, okay? I don't feel grief of somebody who has passed over or transitioned. I feel this is more to do with grief in a way a situation turned out. Okay, this could be from now or the past 3 years. There's a 3 linked with it in some way, but it's this, there's this feeling around with it. Okay, and it's saying here, what has gone, can it be retrieved? We cannot turn back time. What we can do is we can learn from the past, because this card is, it sometimes comes out as a card of guilt. Okay, there's guilt often attached to this card. And when I'm looking at this card, this guy has a big, big scarf on, almost like, you know, that Lenny Kravitz scarf that he had. And Charlotte, yes, too much damage done to retry. I don't know, because if you listen to the messages with these cards, I feel it's going somewhere. You know, I really do. So stick with it. So this is saying that with this around, this scarf around his neck, I feel it's there's things that haven't been said, or regret about things that have been said. Okay, so it's something connected to words here, and it's almost like where there was a mess as well, you know. So it's looking back to something that has happened, not something that is going to happen here. And it's almost having this grieving period, but then noticing how long will you grieve for it? You know, some people grieve for things for years and years and years, and they beat themselves up. They, you know, they don't get on with their lives and things like that because they made a mistake, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I know my grandma, you know, used to talk about something that was like 70 years ago, and she still lived with regrets with that, you know. To live with regret is such a sad thing. Regret what you, if you've tried something and it hasn't worked, you know, then that is better than not trying it. Okay. I always say when I'm dying on my deathbed, I will probably have regrets, but you know, it won't be about things that I should have done. You know, that's it. Because if something presents and I feel it, I've got to go with it. Okay. So this is, like I say, this is affecting the color in your world. It's affecting your world. There's either too little grieving or there's too much grieving. Okay, there's one or the other. There could be a little bit of a pity party coming around. This might not be you, this might be others. Okay, but it's something where it's wallowing. Now, what we do is when we look at past situations, we need to see how they are affecting our current situations, because with this, it's almost like you could be making a decision based on something that has happened in the past. You could be holding something off because something didn't work out in the past. So it's like your past is affecting your future. And when we come to fives within tarot, fives are all about change. We're halfway, you know. So it's like, yes, we're not going to be the person that we were, but you know, we're not yet the person we're going to become neither. So it's this transition stage, and we need to make this work for us as well. And when this card comes in, it's almost saying like, you know, learn again how to do things. Guilt is a word that the Tibetans don't even have a word for. You know, they use regret, because with regret, we can look at how we done something or look at how something turned out, and we can learn from that. And then we use that knowledge that we gained to make things different for our future. Okay, we think about that in the past, and we think, right, okay, last time I done it that way, it worked out like this, which wasn't pleasurable, so I'm going to do it a different way. So like I say, this is learning from the bad. And what this is saying is, within this, it's almost like there's look at long-standing negative beliefs that you are currently have that are blocking you, that stem from past disappointments or past disillusionments. Okay. And if it is something that you have done, make amends. Okay. Mend it. Now, when I'm saying mend it, you know, some things people say can't be mended. Like somebody said before, you know, it's too much water under the bridge. And yes, that is right. I'm not saying to go back into a situation that caused you pain or anything like that, but make amends with it. If you can't make amends with the people connected with it, okay, speak to their higher selves and make amends in that way. Do the Ho'oponopono. That is a very powerful practice of forgiveness, okay? And this is even to people that have hurt you, because if you don't, you get stuck in that negative of either victim, or shame. And this is what we get stuck in. And when we get stuck, we're not moving. And like I say, everything that happens to us, good or bad, whichever we perceive it, is here to get us to grow. And sorry, I've got real cramp in my foot there. That's why I'm moving about there. So this is it. And it's saying we can't wallow in the past, okay? We can't, because we've all had shit times, okay? And I'm telling you now, if there was a big warehouse where everybody in the world had to go and dump their problems, dump the time they'd been betrayed, dump the time they'd been heartbroken and stuff like that in the middle of the room, and you seen everybody else's, you would grab yours back as soon as possible, because everybody experiences pain or trauma of some sort. That is part of life. Life is not linear. There are ups and downs with it, and when we recognize that, people, as soon as they get pain, it's like, all right, I've got a headache, I'm going to take a tablet, and it's like, no, look at that pain, see what that pain is trying to tell you, because pain is often answered prayers. If we didn't have pain, we could put our hand in the fire and burn ourselves. Okay, if we were jogging and we didn't get pain, we wouldn't know that we're putting too much strain on our joints. So pain is not always an enemy. Pain is often an ally as well, So process it, feel it, and let it go. Exactly. Okay, this is what this card is saying. It's saying to make friends with your pain, make friends with your grief as well. Have a conversation with it and take responsibility for the part that you played in it as well. Because whatever you've done, like I say, we make mistakes. We don't know how to handle a situation until we're in it. And sometimes we fuck up with that, But this is why this making amends with others and yourself will mend the situation so that you can move on as well. But please don't wallow in it, okay? And don't become a victim, okay? Because you will become a victim of yourself with that, and it's, do you want to be a victim or do you want to be a victor? And at the end of the day, it is victor all the time for me. Okay, so this will get you out of the cold. And they're talking about recovery there, and making amends when when people are in recovery and they're in like a 12-step program, for addictions or anything like that. One of the steps, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's to make amends, to right your wrongs. Okay, and this clears your karma, it clears your mind, and it clears you of guilt as well. Okay, so that is the basis. This is the basis of what this reading is saying for the energies here. I hope that makes sense to you. And then what we have here, another amazing by She-Wolf Tarot. I absolutely love these, and this is talking about balance. Okay, this is what it's saying, and this is saying that we need to understand that we need to be neutral, and we need to see that whatever has happened in the past is here to help us in our future. But if we look at it too negative in our past, we're swaying towards the past. Okay, we become the victim. If we're not taking responsibility, again, we're going to carry on making the same mistake and blaming everybody else. So again, we become the victim. Okay, if we're looking too far into the future or have too much of a Pollyanna attitude in life, that is tipping the scale again, and we can't. There's a big thing I feel very strongly about spiritual bypassing, and I feel it's quite dangerous, where people that are living a spiritual life will not actually in any way acknowledge something that others deem negative. If you say something to them, they'll go, right, okay, you're this or you're that. And it's it's annoying, because it's spirituality to me, and living a spiritual life means to bring in the balance of the dark and the light, the negative and positive, and to stay in the middle. Okay, when we are in the middle, we are centered. We're coming from our heart space. When we're either in the past or the future, we're coming from our ego. There is some sort of fear there. We're not coming from our soul. Okay, and this is the most important thing that we need to do in our time on this planet. We need to come from our soul and our heart at all times. And that doesn't mean that everything is peace and light and love and all of that, because like I say, it means having boundaries. It means having self-love. It means if somebody is taking the piss that much, that you tell them to fuck off, that, because that is self-care as well. So I think, who was it, Brookhampton, the Barefoot Five, it's I'm all peace and love, and a little go fuck yourself. And that's exactly right. It's not all, oh yeah, look at me, I dance in daisies and blah blah blah. That's not right. We need to acknowledge what's going on, and then we stay neutral within the situation, if that makes sense. So what this says is seeing things from a different perspective. What is my truth is not somebody else's truth. And I need to see that, So it's almost like we have different perceptions of different situations, and if you talk to two people, it's like when you go to court, isn't it? And this is it, this court actually, right? Okay, they're going to me there, the karmic court, this is the karmic court. So it's like, right, okay, so when you go to court, you have the defense and the prosecution, and both of them are arguing their case about the same situation. Okay, so this is it. There are two sides to everything. Oh, I'd say three sides. There's their side, my side, and the truth. But this is it, staying in balance and staying in fairness and staying out of judgment, because judgment is one of the ego's tricky little fuckers that is terrible. And to stay out of judgment it's hard. It's hard to bring yourself down to that, because we judge on a daily basis without even thinking, and like I say, when we judge another, we're defining ourselves rather than we're defining them. Okay, because we have never walked in anybody else's shoes. We don't feel the way they feel, so we cannot say that they're wrong, because we don't know in their situation. A long time ago, I was doing some work with a charity that dealt with ex-addicts, ex-heroin addicts. And I was very in judgment when I went there, and it was, God, that's a dirty drug, how would you do that, and blah blah blah. And it was a long time ago, and I had to, if they wanted a cigarette or whatever, I went outside with this guy, and this guy actually, I said to him, how did you ever get into it? I was kind of like, why would you even do it? And he told me his story, and I was in tears. And I actually, in that moment, thought, wow, what would I have done in that situation? How can I judge him, for that, when he has told me how he got there? And that was a very, as I said, straight down that snake ladder. I was going up the ladder, and I went straight down that stake that second. And I've never ever forgot that, or forgot that guy, because, like I say, he gave me, it was like, wow, I am the one that is in the wrong there, because I am judging somebody that I don't know. So, please be careful about that. And what they're saying with this is, within this balance, we need to balance our ideas as well as ourselves as well. We need to be aware of what we are putting in and what we are giving out. This is both nutritionally wise with food, but also spiritually wise and spiritual nutrition. Okay, so look at what we're taking in. If you're going to be sitting every day and watching Jeremy Kyle or Jerry Springer or something like that, you're taking in this negativity, and that is how your world will become. If you're in judgment with people, or you're around people that are always in judgment, you will tend to take that in, and that is what you'll give out. Okay, so it's about being so conscious about what we are not just taking into our body, what we are taking into our mind, and what we are taking into our energy field as well, because that is what we will attract. Okay, so if like I say, it's they say, don't they, it's like, we put a bag of rubbish out and within seconds there's flies around it, and then there's more and more. And this is what happens if we don't keep our thoughts pure and our aura pure as well. So it's like I say, you're doing it for your own good. And what this is saying as well is use the wisdom from the past. Okay, when we can observe the past rather than live in it, this is when we can get the wisdom, which ties very much in with this card as well, and what we then need to do is to lead by example. Okay, the best way to teach somebody, they say, as teachers, and we are all teachers and students, every single one of us. Okay, we teach people, as I said before, how to treat us. If we're not treating ourselves well, this is how we're teaching other people to treat us. Okay, if we treat ourselves well, that is saying we have boundaries and I will only accept this, but we can teach in other ways. And the best teachers, I feel, are the ones that lead by example. So you look at somebody can be out there and they can have read all these books, they can be, top of the university, whatever, but if they're not practicing what they preach, then that kind of doesn't give you faith in what they are saying. Okay, so it's leading by example. I'm not religious, but it's almost like this: do unto others. And this is what we really need to be aware of, because at the moment, the energies within this world, they are wanting to segregate us. They are wanting to make us strangers rather than neighbors, and the way we can fight that is to actually, like I say, stay out of judgment, and leading by example, being kind, even to those that have hurt us, and that will get us out of this bad place. We can make amends and we can forgive. Okay, so this is huge. What is coming in with this as well, so I hope that makes sense with them too, because it's been a while since I've read like that before, and it's almost saying here, I'm getting, sorry, they're going, not finished yet. This is about us breaking the cycle. Okay, and the way, if you look, we can go round and round and round, and we'll live in this like victim punisher, whatever. But what we need to do is we need to lead this to the heart. So it doesn't matter where this come from. If we lead from our heart, okay, this is when we can heal rifts, when we can make amends with others and ourselves. Okay, when we come from the heart, and that will attract more people that come from the heart as well around us. So, right, okay, what have we got now? Oh, I'm getting messages. And is this making sense? Because sorry, I can't read when I've been wallowing all day. I feel like I've been told off. You're not being told off, but it's almost like a, right, okay, if it's resonating with you, there's a message in it for you. Okay, so you're not being told off. You're just, right, snap out of it. Okay. There's a lot of this live reading, I think. Organic food. Yeah. Yeah, stay away with things that are true, pure, anything that's processed. Just stay away from processed people, processed thoughts, processed stuff like that, There's all her drama behind. Yeah, but again, we need to remember that if somebody is in drama and in pain, there is some part of them that is hurting as well, and if we can be kind and if we can reach out and make them understand, then that is us serving our purpose. If we dismiss them because they are drama or negative, then that is kind of, we're in judgment in a little way. If somebody gossips at you, try to say, why do you think I would want to hear that? Be open and honest with them, or say this, I really want to talk to you, but can we talk about something positive? Or, and switch the conversation and lead by example. This is what this card is saying. So, Right, and then we have this card, which is time. And I, when it came on to do, I thought, right, okay, I'll do a 10-minute reading. There you go. So yeah, and this is saying this is in the protection position, okay? So this is upside down. And the first thing I got when I got this was, the problem is you think you have time, okay? And time is, if you listen to Russell Brand, I love it when he goes, time is infinite. I really love that. But yeah, time. When we are young, time seems to go, it's like, oh God, I can't wait to be an adult and stuff. And then as we get into adulthood, it's like, where's the time going? You know, and we're wanting to kind of grab it back. But like I say, these cards about this wallow and this grief, this stuff like that, this balance, they're all linked with this, because what they're saying is, you know, do you want to spend 10 minutes of your life, 10 hours of your life, 10 months of your life, 10 years of your life in this wallowing place? You know, because when you are lying on your deathbed and, you know, you're ready to meet the maker, you're not going to get that time back. And that is going to be time that is wasted, okay? So every day we have a choice. Do we lean into love, or do we lean into victimhood or disappointment or disillusionment? You know, if we can let things go quickly, then we can clear things quickly. We can clear our path, because time is such a precious commodity. Okay, you look at, you know, if you've lost anybody and you go, God, just 1 hour with that person. You know, I would love to sit with my mom, you know, for an hour. That hour, there's so much I would ask her. There's so much I would tell her. There's so much, and I'm never going to get that. Yet when she was alive, I let hours and hours go by without doing that. Okay, so what this is saying is, if you need to make amends with somebody, do it. Okay, do it. Life is too short to let your ego from stop you doing it. Life is too short to let pride get in the way of you living a fulfilling life. Okay, time it's precious. It's really precious. And we sit and we go, I can't wait for that, or I can't wait for that. And what we're doing is we're wishing time away. Be happy in the now. And by being happy in the now is when we let go of old resentments, when we bring ourselves back into balance, and we realize that the past does not exist and the future does not exist yet. All that exists is today. And if we today, all we can do is be kind, to be non-judgmental, and to offer love to those who have either hurt us or we have hurt, then we are living right. Okay, and this is what we need to do. Time is precious. Please don't squander it. Okay, so this is it. It's almost like the energies this week, right? It's really making you tackle this, okay? And if you do, you will see how smoothly things go. If you don't, things may get a little bit tough. And I'm not just telling you this to be all doom and gloom. You know, within my work, you know, within my just being a person, a human on this planet, I feel it's my responsibility to make people see things in a different way. You know, if I've been given these messages, then I've got to, you know, because we all have the chance. And if we don't know, you know, we don't know how to change. And these are just simple little steps, you know, to say that if we do that, you know, if we bring kindness into our hearts, then that will bring kindness into our day, and then kindness will come back to us, and we will see that, you know. And this is it. So please always be kind and stay out of judgment as well. So I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to pull one more card, which is just like a little spirit one, and then I can read the messages. Time is the one thing we can never get back. You know, money, possessions, or everything. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. You know, when a rich man dies, he still dies. And this is it. We are all dying. And, you know, I don't want to sound doom and gloom like that, but we are. You know, from the second we are born, we are dying. And it was a very strange time in my life. I was grieving massively. And I went to Asia, having a very pity party, for one. And I went there feeling how hard done to I was. And I spoke to a lot of the monks and things like that. And I came back realizing how actually grateful I was. You know, it was a life-changing experience for me. So, right. So yeah, look at your pain. Okay, this is what I feel here. Look at your pain. Are you Have you grown used to your pain? Okay. Have you realized that your pain can get you attention, can get you things off others, can get you sympathy? Has pain become a part of you as well? Okay. Because, like I say, pain is a part of life, but when we suffer, that is a choice. Okay, so it's like, how are you using your pain? Are you using your pain to direct you to healing and, to be pain free? Or are you using your pain to stay in this place that is quite uncomfortable? Present moment is the gift. Exactly, it is. Right, okay, so this card here says, I do whatever I can to get closer to consciousness. And look at the owl there as well. We have this owl, and the owl is wisdom. I was doing meditation with, there was a most amazing shaman from Guatemala, was over on the island the end of last year, and I was doing a workshop with her, and within the meditation I kind of shape-shifted into an owl. It was the bizarrest thing. I was like, whoa, what was in that tea? But there wasn't anything in it. I'm just joking there. But what Spirit said to me is, now you can see 360. You can see why everything has happened. Because I've just gone through a massive, massive end of a cycle within my life. And it's almost like it's been played back to me like a movie. And I can see why everything happened, why there was the disappointments, why there was the hurts. I can understand them. And then what Spirit said in this meditation was, now you can see 360. The reason why, and you can use that. So this is it. That is wisdom. So I like that. That has been fun today, hanging out with you. How long have I been on? 55 minutes. Yeah, 5555. That is the change. Right. So I'm just going to read some of the messages here from you. So I hope that makes sense for you, them readings. And let me know if you like these as well, because I will try and do these every week if you like them. Okay? Right, okay. Message. Hey, Carisha, how you doing? More five-dimensional living from the heart space. Yeah. And also listen to the way we talk. Do we talk? Maybe record yourself. Okay. Record yourself talking about maybe the last 2 year of your life for 5 minutes and see what you say, because a lot of people will focus on the bad that has happened rather than the good, and we need to get into a space where we realize that we are not talking in victimhood. We are not blaming others for things that have happened in our life. I just read a one there, and it's, something about feeling guilty, and nobody can make you feel guilty without your consent. Okay, so we allow that, but then we point the finger of blame at them. But when we point the finger of blame, there's 3 fingers pointing back at us. Okay, so yes, people can be testing, they can be hard, but it's up to us how we choose to react with that. Okay. And like I say, you're talking about mother. I used to have a saying where if it's not one thing, it's my mother. But I'm telling you now, she's not here, and I would give anything for just an hour of the craziness again. I miss the craziness. I miss that. And that is, like I say, by looking with hindsight, making amends with it. And if somebody is making you hurt, they're coming from a place of hurt themselves. So when we have kindness and compassion for that person, that can switch it. They're in fear in some way. Okay. Like I say, learn by example with them. That's the best way to deal with them. Hey, voice today. I live for Tanya's tangents. Keep going, love. 10 minutes is not enough. David's on my personal Facebook, and sorry if anybody does try and get me. My personal Facebook is the only part of my life that it is personal. That's it. I can just be. I just put my random things on there, and yet occasionally I'm quite calm, but then occasionally I have a rant. David's always there with them. Oh, you're welcome, Yvette. I'm pleased you were here to enjoy the time. Try telling this to my 76-year-old parents. I get it, Jennifer, I do. But what we've got to think is they have had that 76 years of being stuck in their conditioning, so it's hard to change them. So what we do is we change the way we react to them. Okay? And this is what we need to do, because then that will teach the younger generations, because we need to change these patterns. Okay, this is what all of this is about. This is why we're going through the struggles, because we're breaking down these old thought patterns that have actually been passed down to us from our ancestors. Okay, so I think that's about it. Thank you, Norma Jean. Try to keep boundaries for my sanity. Yeah, you've got to, so when we don't have boundaries and then we complain about how people treat us, it's like, no, we can't do that. I called somebody out today. They sent me a message, and it's not really even somebody I'm connected with. And the message was, psychologically, they were trying to play on my emotions, and I just pushed it straight back to them and said, please don't do that, because other people may think that you are trying to do this. So it's call them out straight away, but you can still be kind doing that, because it helps them. A lot of people don't realize it's just the way that they go on, because it's learned behavior. Right, so hanging out with you on this positive energy. Thank you for your animal's health. Right, Norma Jean. Listen to Elvis. I've been getting the song. It's been following me all over. It's been in my head. And then yesterday I went to the beach. There was hardly anybody there, and it started playing at the beach. And it's is it Pale Blue Eyes, the Velvet Underground? God, what a beautiful song. But it is following me around for some reason, and I don't know. Right. So this is them are the messages for this week. Keep them in mind. See how it goes. Hopefully some of the advice that is given in them will help you, and again, let me know if you like these little hangouts. You just listen to that song as well, you bet. When was that out? It was years ago. Why is it coming into my head at this moment in time? But yeah, I hope you have an absolutely lovely rest of Sunday. I don't know where you are in the world, but yeah, please enjoy it. And like I say, this week, just mellow into it. Let everything go with that flow. Kind of get your Rasta vibe on, and just see everything. Your soul will see everything as being interesting. So it's like, oh, that's interesting, rather than actually your ego sees you in it. Okay? You're tingling. The messages are so timely. Thank you. My God, lots of advice and wisdom given. I know I was meant to be on for 10 minutes. It's like, what? But no, I've enjoyed it. And thank you for being here. So this might be a regular thing. I'm not sure yet. I'm just testing it out. I'm going to try it for the next 4 weeks and see, but obviously with it being on a Sunday, it's usually that's my day that I like to spend time with my nearest and dearest as well. Okay. Glad you are longer. Yay, sunflowers. That's for my little car. I'm going to get some sunflowers to put in it. One of my dearest friends, Louisa, who I actually owe this whole move to. She was the one that got me here. She always used to buy me sunflowers, because she said sunflowers always remind her of me. So she used to come in the house with these huge, big sunflowers. So yeah, they're my favorite flower. So, right, have an absolutely fabulous next week, okay? And please drop me a line if you want if to let me know how you've liked these. And if anybody does want a personal reading with me, then I think I do have a little bit availability left this week. Then get clicking, the link is below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, please tell your friends, and please follow me on Instagram as well, okay? So I hate having to do all of that, but I do. Is that the title? Yeah, it's Pale Blue Eyes, I think it's called. Yeah, that's what it's called. So have an absolutely fabulous, fabulous week. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Sanam.